Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. So once again I am Indranuj and today I would be dealing with a beautiful piece of romantic poetry, Ode to the West Wind by P.B. Shelley. So in the last video where I discussed about the features of romantic literature and essentially romantic poetry and its distinctive features which make it unique and differentiate this genre of poetry from that of the neoclassical age, right? So those things I discussed in my previous lecture. And for example, the emotion and passion, then the critique of progress, a return to the past, a sort of Hellenism, a return to nature, then a sense of pantheism, a communion with nature, and the unity between nature, God, and man, the purity of childhood, the innocence of childhood, the abundance of nature, and the tendency to use one's imagination, the power of imagination, and the imaginative faculty of human beings to visualize something and compose a poem, which is quite different from the tendency of the neoclassical poets who usually sought the help of reason, the help of intellect. What should I say? Yes, the help of reason, the help of intellect, and always there was a tendency to use rationality in viewing and observing each and every aspect of our society and, of course, of literature. But as opposed to that, romantic poetry uses the imaginative faculty of human beings, of the intellect, and return to nature, the innocence and purity of childhood, return to the past, pantheism, as I said, and the power of nature. Actually, nature is being invoked. The natural features, the natural objects are being invoked in the poems of romantic age. So one such example, a beautiful example of one such invocation is Ode to the West Wind by Shelley, where Shelley, he actually, what he does is he gives a human attribute to the west wind, right? Yes, the west wind is being attributed with the qualities of a powerful human being, someone who has a monstrous power, a destructive power, as well as the power of giving life to the mother earth. So it's dual aspect, the dual aspect of the west wind, the destroyer as well as the preserver, a human aspect, if I say. So this is a quite beautiful piece of poetry. So let's have a look at it. And obviously the season autumn is being described in Shelley's Ode to the West Wind, and as we read this poem we would obviously be reminded of another unique composition by another renowned romantic poet, John Keats, which is To Autumn. In To Autumn or Ode to Autumn, whichever way we say, John Keats actually what he does, he praises the abundance, the harvest of nature, the prospect of abundance which we find in nature during the autumn season and its eventual transition to winter. The transition of one season into another, the cycle of seasons, right? So this is something which is also described in Ode to the West Wind. So now what I would do is I would discuss the important aspects of this poem in gist, in short, and which would be quite helpful to the students of English literature, those who are studying in their graduation or even masters, or even those who are preparing for the NET exam. So let's have a look. The west wind is the very soul of autumn, and it is at once an agent of destruction as well as preservation. As I said, the dual aspect of the west wind, the destroyer and preserver. So let me read a few lines from the poem. O wild west wind, thou breath of autumn's being, thou from whose unseen presence the leaves dead are driven like hosts from an enchanted fleeing. So it is like a rushing impetuous river. The west wind is like a rushing impetuous river flowing through the forests of the sky. So it is the flow of the west wind is being compared to that of a river which is tumultuous in nature, which is in flow, and which has a tendency to drive away all those objects which come in its way. And in the first stanza, what the poet actually does is he describes the effect of the west wind on the dead leaves in the autumn season. What impact the west wind has on the dead leaves during the autumn season, the season of autumn, this is being described in this stanza. Yellow and black and pale and hectic red, pestilence-stricken multitudes, O thou, who chariotest to their dark wintry bed, the winged seats where they lie cold and low, each like a corpse within its grave, until thine azure sister of the spring shall blow her clarion over the dreaming earth, and fill, driving sweet birds like flocks to feed in air, with living hues and odors plain and hill, wild spirit, which art moving everywhere, destroyer and preserver, here, oh here. So, as I said, that autumn is a season of destruction, and all the attributes which symbolize death, destruction, pestilence are being used by the poet in the first stanza. The leaves dead, which means and obviously autumn is the season of the fall. The leaves when they get old, their cycle of life is completed and they shed off from the branches of the trees, and it is known as the fall of the leaves and hosts, right? So the terms hosts, then grave, corpse, all these things actually are attributed to dead persons, something which is lifeless. The leaves are similarly lifeless, and they were quite colorful when they had life in them. Yellow, black, pale, hectic red were the colors of the leaves, and they have fallen, and the west wind is like a monstrous river, like a monstrous force, is carrying the dead leaves with its force to the dead leaves and also the seeds, which do not have any use right now. They are being shifted away, they are being carried away to some place where they would rest, and after this cycle gets over, The in azure sister of the spring shall blow. So spring is the next season in this cycle, and with spring, once again the process of regeneration, the cycle of regeneration shall start, and the trees would come to life. There would be new leaves on the trees. The seeds would sprout once again. So that is what the poet says in the first stanza. So this is the first stanza of Ode to the West Wind, and I would be continuing with the next stanzas in my next video. So thank you for watching, and please hold on. I will be back very soon. Thank you.